Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was hit with a second ethics complaint this week, also regarding his shadow presidential campaign. Now, you'll recall about 2 weeks ago, Donald Trump's Make America Great Again Incorporated PAC filed an ethics complaint against Ron DeSantis, alleging that he was violating Florida law by simultaneously serving as governor and trying to run for president. Now, under Florida law, in case you're not familiar with it, and I think this is very weird, but I like it, if you're running for a different office other than the one you currently hold, and the office that you're running for would overlap with at least half of the current term you have in office right now, you must resign your current office in order to run for the new office. Now, the Trump campaign filed their ethics complaint and said, hey, listen, he's clearly running for president. He has to resign under Florida law. This week, he was hit with an ethics complaint from Nikki Fried, the chair of the Democratic Party, the freshly minted chair of the Democratic Party here in the state of Florida, with Fried and the Democratic Party alleging that not only all of the stuff the MAGA PAC alleged, but also you've got campaign finance laws that this man, who is clearly running for president, is violating left and right. You've got super PACs out there. You've got regular state political action committees, all associated with Ron DeSantis, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on his events. And that's not allowed because these PACs are not set up for a presidential run. In fact, one of the PACs that they filed the complaint about is only set up for Ron DeSantis to run for governor. And he's term limited after this term, so that political action committee no longer serves a purpose because he can't run for governor again. Yet it's out there spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on events for Ron DeSantis. Now that doesn't seem right. Now the problem with this specific piece of legislation, this specific ethics complaint, is that in terms of the campaign finance violations, yeah, they're glaringly obvious. I agree with the complaint 100%. Problem is, the state government and the federal government never do anything about any of that ever. We see campaign finance violations all of the time. Just look at what recently happened to George Santos. They told him, they're like, hey, you've accepted a campaign contribution well over the legal limit. But rather than hit you with criminal charges, which we could do, instead, why don't you go back, refile it, since it was from a joint bank account, say part of it came from the wife instead of just from the husband. Then you're okay. So not only are we not prosecuting these people, the very agency that's supposed to be enforcing the laws is giving them advice on how to skirt the laws. So while I agree 100% with this complaint filed by the Florida Democratic Party, I like it. I think they should have filed it, yeah. But do I think anything is going to happen with it? Nope. The Republicans control the state of Florida. You think they're going to hold Ron DeSantis accountable? You think with that other MAGA complaint, they're going to force Ron DeSantis to resign? Hell no. So what we're going to see is what happens with the good old boy style of politics down here in Florida. We're going to continue to see all of these violations that Ron DeSantis is racking up, and we're going to watch as our Republican-controlled state legislature does absolutely nothing about it. And maybe in the end, when people across the country see how corrupt the Florida process is, maybe it'll turn off even more people from supporting Ron DeSantis when they see how our legislature is willing to bend over backwards to let him skirt the laws of the state.